that so many Republicans believe this indictment and these larger probes, the other three that go behind it, why do you think that there's such a strong belief that this is a political witch hunt when you make the argument it absolutely is not?
Well, you know, well, obviously, the defendants have some to do with that. It would be one thing if Donald Trump simply said, "Well, I disagree with the indictment. I am innocent, and I'm going to prove it in a court of law," and that's it. That's all he says. Well, that then instills the possible or creates the possibility that whatever the outcome, the American public are going to accept it because the defendant in the case, whatever the outcome, accepts that the final decision. So it's simply a question of uh, trying to remind the American people that we do have a system of governance. We do have the rule of law, which means that all of us are subject to the same rules, treated the same, and that we are judged by a public and recognized set of rules and principles, rules of evidence, before a neutral decision maker, and before a jury of our peers that are unbiased, and that we accept the outcome. And that's the way that our system is set up. And one of the things that I worry about is that system is being strained by this individual. And again, it may turn out that he's perfectly innocent, in which case I think he'll applaud perhaps the outcome. He'll be critical of the prosecution, and that will cause further damage to the rule of law because yeah, I think if you're exonerated in our system, you're thankful, but you don't go out and say, well, this was all a witch hunt and I've just proven it. Well, no. It may just simply mean that the prosecution has not carried its burden, could not get key evidence in. A key witness has disappeared or is unwilling to testify. So again, it doesn't mean that that you're innocent necessarily. It means that you haven't been proven guilty in a court of law according to our rules.
Judge, I can't help but single in on two things you said there. One was this sort of belief that you're hopeful that the tide will turn and people will start to understand in your party that this is not politically intended and these are facts that are being alleged by prosecutors doing their very best. Do you not think that might be wishful thinking? There's been a long, long period of time for members of the party to embrace the facts that have been alleged in and facts that have been proven essentially in newspaper stories and documented. The phone call from Brad Raffensperger, or I'm sorry, to Brad Raffensperger, the Georgia Secretary of State, is literally on tape and can be played anytime you go to Google it. Well, is it wishful thinking on your part?
Absolutely not. What's the alternative? Do we give up? Do